Hello, guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today, as you can see, we've had another month come. It's the 1st of October now. So, with another month comes another Dev Diary. We've got here for September 2025 the Dev Diary for Prehistoric Kingdom. You know, everyone's favorite prehistoric park builder. You know, you make all sorts of different habitats and things for extinct animals. That's really cool. I'm really excited to get stuck into this. We've mentioned last month that we're talking a lot about the vivarium. So the vivarium is actually coming through quite a bit, but we've also got some other updates that we'd like to talk about. Let's get started. So welcome to the September Development Diary. So this month's blog post will primarily focus on providing a work-in-progress look at the upcoming Vivarium exhibits coming in Update 16. We also have news and an Update 15.1, as well as an announcement as that PK is currently part of the Steam Autumn sale. So really awesome to see that they're putting it on a good sale so more people can have a look. So make sure to grab the game off 30% off before the sale ends on October 6th. So yeah, it's not going to be for too long, so just make sure you grab it. And you've got this really wonderful picture here of the Compsognathus and the vivariums. So it looks really cool. You can almost see that reflection of its eye. It actually looks so amazing. I'm really loving this little guy here. So really cool. Anyway, so in September, the team found themselves working on two updates in one. So the Update 15 support patch and Update 16. It was an interesting act to juggle, since a few of us had to continually jump back and forth through the month to develop what other team members, depending on what other team members needed. But we did this, while this did lead to a support patch taking a bit longer to cook. The good news is that we're already making steady progress on Update 16. And once 15.1 is out, our sole focus for the next few months will be Update 16. Speaking of, Update 15.1, that's the one we talked about last month, but Update 15.1 will be coming to public testing this Thursday, so on the 2nd of October. So probably actually by the time I upload this, it might be out or going to be out. So really excited to see that will be coming to Prehistoric Kingdom. So the headline feature for this little mini update has been the long-awaited Head IK, or the Look Target system, that allows animals to finally look at each other while roaming, resting, or idling. And this works across all of our animals and seamless growth, which has been a massive engineering project requiring months of iteration. We will continue to improve this feature as time goes on, but it certainly makes the animals feel more lively seeing them glance at one another. So you can see, look here, Mama Rex has just turned her head to be like, oh, look at my cute little babies, and they're running around. They're not just like stiff boards, robot boards anymore, so that's really cool. And then we've also got the head IK for these guys here. You can see turning around to look at them. Looks really nice for the Oviraptor. And here's a good one for the Edmontosaurus regalis. Looking over to a couple of the girls over there, looks really cool. Definitely a big fan. So next up, we've actually managed to sneak in grazing animations for most herbivores in the game as well. And like other idle fidgets, these animations have a chance to play when an animal comes to a spot or are simply standing around. Delicious. So you can see there, that's the Matabarosaurus and the woolly rhinoceros, or Coelodonta. They're both having a graze, and it's a really good animation because even in zoos where they often get provided food, they'll still graze idly. It's just something that they're made to do, so they do it, and it's a cool thing to see. And finally, the threatened behaviors seen during nesting are now being made into a regular AI state, which means that as animals encounter potential threats, they'll try and roar at them, scare them off, or run away if they've been threatened themselves. So yeah, there's a little bit more going on with the animals this update 15.1. And this will be an area of the game we're really looking forward to be expanding upon once we get into combat in update 17. So that'll be very interesting to see. Alright, so into update 16, this is a little bit more detailed. So it's quite cool. So as detailed last month, update 16 will be another massive release focusing on fleshing your park and management opportunities. So to start off development, we've been laying the foundations for vivariums and replacing all of the outdated code that relates to the mini aviary. And though this is still very early in development, we're pleased to say we have a functioning prototype that broadly outlines their customization and revised animal movement systems. So that's really cool. And as new assets and components are finished over the next few months, these modules are going to start looking really, really nice. So I'm quite excited to see that. And with that said, you'll be able to see a lot of early development imagery. So here we got the vivariums. We got a new home. So vivarium species will be found in the animal nursery alongside the rest of the roster. Here, the players can filter specifically for vivarium animals, or even make use of the customization tools to override their variation and random mutations, which will be cool. There's also a handy drop down you can use to see how many animals will fit in a certain vivarium size. So let's have a look here. Let me just make it full size. So consignate this there. Look at it in the now look, you can see next to the person, so that looks really, really cool. In size, small, medium, large. So you can see you can put the figurations. That's quite cool. So you can see, as I mentioned there. And look, you can also put variations. So that's cool that we still get the variations. So while we only get the one skin, you can still get a melanistic or a leucistic, kind of variation there. And I think that's really, really cool. And I don't know if it showed before, is it male and female skin? So yeah, you got the differences there. Consignate this. I think there's a male and female skin. I think so. Yeah. So there may be a little bit of difference there. So that's really, really cool. I'm not sure if the has got a male and female skin, but it looks like it is possible. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, we'll keep looking at that. And you can see 16 consignators for the large vivarium. So that's quite cool. Very, very cool. And the melanistic one. And you can go male and female. They look about the same, yeah. But anyway, so once created, they'll have to be dropped into the habitat from the animal holder, and keepers will need to stock and clean their vivariums by interacting with the hatch at the back. So that's the hatch at the back. So go through here, put them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's cool. So look, it basically works. And you got an albino individual. That's pretty cool. So you just drop it in, just like you would with the other animals, and it fits in quite well. You can see there's a couple standing spots there. One begins to start walking, so that's really, really cool. Anyway, we'll carry on. Vivariums are plenty. So currently, there are about 4 different sizes to choose from. So there's the box, which is 4x4x4. So that one. Small, 4x8x4. So 4 meters tall, 8 meters long, 4 meters, 4 meters, 4 meters wide, 8 meters long, 4 meters tall. The medium as well, so it's 8 meters tall, uh, 12 meters long, 6 meters wide, and you got here as well the large. So that's the one right at the back there. 12 meters. Looks like it's 12 meters tall, I think. 16 long, 8 wide. So that's all the different ones there. So they've got 4 different types, but that is not the end of the variation. So each of these can be configured to use either an amphibious, arboreal, or terrestrial layout, which means there are 12 total modules to pick from, and they work just like the feeders. So if you don't currently have an animal inside, you can change the configuration to something else. So that's quite interesting there. So they work just like the feeders. And you can see this is the temporary internal art. So all vivariums will have detailed terrain, rock, and foliage once they're finished. They are using placeholder art and layouts for now. So this is not what they're going to look like at all final. It's just kind of a general look. But you can see the different versions here. So you can see the arboreal one. You can see it's the same shapes, but you can put your chain link and stuff as well. And you've got the branches and things to make sure they can glide and fly around in there. So or climb if they're arboreal, as we mentioned. You've got the terrestrial. So these are for animals that like to walk around on the ground, like Compsognathus. And any of the other animals they might choose. So you can see you've got the 4x4, and then all the different sizes, and then you've got your amphibious. So these are for your semi-aquatic animals in your vivarium. So that comes out quite nicely, and you can see quite cool there. Definitely a big fan of that. So, speaking of animals, you'll be happy to hear that there is only a minimum exhibit size, which means that you might not be able to put Compsognathus into a 4x4 box. You'll be more than happy in a small, medium, or large variants. And the bigger the vivarium, the more individuals you'll be able to keep inside. So there's minimums, but there's no maximum. So you can keep 16, as I said, in the large vivarium, but you can't keep them in a box. So they only have a minimum requirement size. But cool. When this is what really excites me as well. We've got exterior customization. So players can quickly change the front, sides, and roof of a vivarium using through their modular widget. And they can use the use of glass options of use glass, mesh, facades, cladding, half cladding, and even a null setting with those who want to go fully custom with it or sink it in the ground. And if you want even more customization, you can actually edit all the sides independently by enabling a toggle on the menu. So you can see from that here. So in that regard, it is kind of similar to Planet Zoo, but you've also got the null option, of course. So you can see going through the different versions, and then you can go each side individually. So front side is mesh or facade. So you can look at that there. That's really cool. So you can see that's facade there. And the roof you can change as well. So that's the cladding. That's the half cladding. That's the glass. You got the mesh there, each side separately. That's just that side. That's just that side there. Yeah, that's cool as. I like that. That's a really cool. That's kind of similar to Planet Zoo in that regard. You've got different shapes and things like that because you can go with cladding or each side. So that in that regard, it's quite similar to Planet Zoo. But as you can see here, there's the null option, so you can go through and make it basically, as you can see here, basically nothing. It's just a big block of stuff. I'll quickly pause it there. So if you want to create your completely custom vivarium, you want to create your custom enclosure, you can do that. And I think that is so cool. I'm really excited to do. I'm actually thinking of doing some videos of designing a couple of vivariums, just because I want to do something that's quick. Because I don't want to like some little things, and I think it'd be cool to do some designs with vivariums because I think that'd be quite cool. So who knows, I might do it. But you can see you completely can create whatever you want around it. I think that's really really cool. And really allows that creativity, and it's sad that Planet Zoo or something like that doesn't have that option. But yeah, so they're really giving us full creativity and really expanding those old mini aviaries, and I really like those mini aviaries, but they're definitely expanding it and making it much more interesting. So as for things like terrain textures, cladding, and facades, those will change depending on what environment you're setting the vivarium to. So there's arid forest or rainforest. We'll be talking about this more in detail once the art is ready for a future dev diary, so hopefully that'll be not too soon. But you can see here, this is the big vivarium here. They got the arid wall cladding, looks quite nice in there. This one's the rainforest. So this is the rainforest cladding as well, and you can also see use of tropical leaf litter and wetland mud, so you can kind of see that'll go on the bottom as well, which will look really really cool. And you can see that facade, it's got the mossy rocks compared to the dry rocks that look like they're straight out of the outback or the Sonoran Desert. But these ones, come out straight out of the Amazon or something like that. But yeah, walking with tiny dinosaurs is the next one. So, when setting out to create vivariums, we knew we had to evolve the movement system previously as seen in our mini aviary, which are pretty much just looped animations. It relied entirely on a long pre-made animation loop, which made it difficult to transfer the new species or to simply make animals move at the same time. But for this new system, we're essentially building on a network of points that the animals could randomly move between. And they're able to take diverging paths, backtrack, and play a variety of adorable fidgets when they stop at a destination. So how long the walk is also random. So it's basically all randomized, so it really makes them feel like, real animals. And there's quite a lot we need to do before the locomotion is polished, but hopefully you can see the potential of this new system in the video below, and we're able to reduce sliding as much as possible and dynamically bend the neck and tails as they turn. So this is something, a work in progress, but you can see it going on here. So let's have a look. Yeah, that looks really, really cool. Even just in like this early state, it feels much really natural because you can see them walking around. I think it's quite cool. And you have a little fidget. I hope they have a couple social animations. I think that'll be quite cool. But yeah, I think even just at this moment, it is very cool. A little fidget and hop around. It's very cute. I love this Compsognathus. A really, really great reconstruction of the species. You see them walking around still. Walk, 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 walk. There's a little hop. There's a little hop. This one does a scratch as it does. Very, very cute. It'd be cool to have, I imagine there might be social animations planned, but I still think that's quite cool. So animals within a vivarium will be placed on the movement network or in isolated spots where they'll permanently rest, sleep, or fidget until the player moves away, similar to Planet Zoo, and all the animals will be randomly shuffled into new positions once the player comes back. So very similar to Planet Zoo in that regard. Um, so you can see kind of, walking around in there. So if you're just sitting there watching it, this obviously seems a lot more lively than the Planet Zoo ones, which is probably the best comparison. But yeah, it looks really, really cool. I'm definitely a big fan of how this is coming out. So yeah, let's have a look at the next ones. So for something more active like Microraptor, we can actually determine what paths should make them walk, glide, or climb, and all that information can be instantly be reused for something like Archaeopteryx or Yi, which has also both been announced, as long as they have the required animations. And it's a much easier solution for us to work with, and means we can have more animals moving at once, add or remove paths depending on what enrichment is enabled, and develop vivarium species faster by sharing spline paths, which is really cool. We're also incredibly excited to keep working on the system and use to its full potential. It's only looking better and better as we go. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. But in the future Dev Diary, we'll be exploring some of the enrichment and interior customization options coming to vivariums in 1.16. So you can see this is some of the vivarium options you can get. So this is the amphibious enrichment sketch. So, little bits of logs there and basking lamp and some stuff in there. So that's really, really cool. I'm very interested to see what's going to come out of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Vivariums. But there is a change in the roadmap. So since the last dev blog, we've decided to move Staff Progression 2.0 into Update 17. And while this is not only to ease some of the short-term development workload, there are other changes and improvements we would like to make into the experience surrounding staff and logistics. And some notable examples will include break rooms and new management views to see the park resources usage and what various staff members are located throughout the park. So there's some cool little things there. I really hope we get them to have some buggies so they can go in our big enclosures and not look like a sore thumb. But I believe that might be planned, hopefully. But yeah, this is a cool one, created by Ben. This is part of the community spotlight. Got this really, really nice, kind of almost like pagoda thing going on, and you've got the basalt columns. Looks really, really nice. Next up, we've got by BZ14. This looks like something straight out of a European zoo. But the thing as well, they're not having a hairless African rhino. They've got the woolly rhino, which actually would be well suited for that climate. So yeah, really, really cool one there. Looks straight out of a European zoo. And we've got some really cute little arts here. So this is the different species of Pachyrhinosaurus. So it looks really, really nice and it's very cute. And I really like this one as well. This is like the dumb chicken head of the Oviraptor done by Kahadu. So yeah. So thank you for reading this development diary. We appreciate your patience for update 15.1 and hope that you're excited to try it out once it hits public testing branch on Thursday. Update 16 is shaping up to be a really exciting update and we can't wait to share more as it develops. Until next time, the PK team. So yeah, really, really excited to see what we're going to get from this one. I really love the terrarium options. It's really cool because, there's not really been a game that offers us, to be able to make terrariums like this. And be able to customize them, and which is really cool. Because the Planet Zoo ones, they do have some customization, but not that much. They're just a box, and you can change the outside of the box and some little things in them, but you can't really customize them like you would in the PK ones. So I'm really excited to actually see how this comes out and see it work. So really, really excited to see this vivariums. It's actually one of the updates I'm really excited for, and excited to see the implications of it for some of our animals. And I'm really excited to actually design some. As I mentioned, I want to do a little video designing a terrarium for certain animals. We might do a couple. I'd really love to see come up with some cool designs and stuff, because I think the vivariums would be a really cool thing to design. Come up with something small and stuff. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to see that happen. So yeah, I really, really, really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys like and subscribe, always work at the little bell icon to get notified on anything. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys like and subscribe, and bye-bye.